Welcome back, guys. How you doing today? Today, this might be a little controversial of a topic. So, let's just dive into it. It's about secondary pricing. But I'm not talking about the secondary pricing of, say, just a one-off custom. You can charge whatever you want for this, I think, right? Within reason. And I know that the price is whatever somebody's willing to pay. So that's kind of the controversial part there is I'm not against capitalism. I am against people on drops, lottos, lotteries, and auctions. And I don't know that I'm against it, but that's the topic. That's the item in question, is if you win a lotto of one of 100 knives and you turn around and sell it the next day before you even have it at a premium. And this all came about recently. There was a lotto from Recon 1 on a Shirogorov and RJ Martin collaboration. The RQ36. I did a video on one because a very good friend of mine, Mr. Ed, lent me his because he got in on the lotto. He also had gotten in previously on the Shirogorov RJ Martin soft overkill, of which he also lent me when he sent me the RQ36. And I have since bought this from him, and this is now part of my permanent collection. Permanent is a relative term, right? That's a different topic. But it got me thinking after that lotto. I didn't make it into the lotto. I was not drawn for the RQ36, and I talked about that in my video. But it started getting me thinking because I know people sold them that afternoon. They drew the names on Monday at 11, 1, and 3, I believe. There was 3 different drawings. And by 5 o'clock that afternoon, I know people had already bought in them from somebody that won the lotto. And they paid a premium. Is that okay? Am I wrong? It's the same thing kind of with the donut knives, the Dessert Warriors. This is the small one. I have all 3 sizes, the small, the standard, and the extra large. And I put a little donut lanyard thing on here. Beard of Doom will be proud. I actually have a knife that has a doodad. But these things go for crazy, stupid money. I paid normal price because I got in and I ordered them. I was able to get in before the websites crashed and all of that. But people were selling those, literally, it's a $50 Boker knife that people were selling for $300, and people were buying them. That's insane to me. Maybe pay, it's a $50 knife, I'll give you $75 to ship it to me. Okay. So the RQ36, this is not the RQ36, this is the soft overkill. I got this for exactly what Mr. Ed paid for it. I'll just be upfront about that right now. This has aftermarket scales that added $300 to it. I paid him what he ended up paying for it, and that is rare. I don't have a problem paying a little premium after the fact, but there's guys that got into the lotto for the RQ36, and it happens for a lot of lottos. I've seen it happen at shows. People win an auction or they win the lotto, and they literally have sold it to somebody else at a profit in front of the maker. What do you guys think about that? Leave me a comment down below. Also, just a side note, this one I'm filming straight directly from the camera, so we'll see how this turns out. I'm not sure how big this file is going to be when I am done and I have to pull it off of the camera onto the computer or my phone to upload it and all that. So that's going to be interesting. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to try to make this kind of brief, but I want your comments down below. Now, Since that happened with the RQ36, it got me thinking about that. Because people were selling them for like $500 more, literally the same day that the lotto happened. Again, I'm not against capitalism, and people were paying it, of course. But because you were lucky to get in on the lotto, are you entitled to $500 or more? Because they were going for $3,000. So when I had Mr. Ed's in here, I was offered $3,300 for it. It was $1,850 new. I had it about a week after they came out. And somebody on Instagram hit me up and offered me $3,300. It wasn't mine to sell. I did tell Mr. Ed, he goes, oh yeah, same person, hit him up too, and hit up 3 of my other friends, same price. That's a tough one for me. I don't know that I would sell it. I don't know that I would not sell. I don't know. That's why this is really a Dirkscussion, so that I can get your guys' thoughts and feelings. That's why I'm doing it kind of this face reveal way, talking head style, if you will, which is not my normal. We'll see. I might play with it and see how this turns out, how long it takes to kind of edit. And I don't mean edit, but I got to pull it from the camera to render it in, before I upload it to YouTube. I mean, there's a little bit of stuff I got to do. All right, but anyway, back to the point. Since then, I've been thinking about this whole pricing thing. And Derek Stang, a maker that I know up in Canada, he did a video on this similar topic. And I won't go into all the details of his video, but it did get me thinking, all right, maybe I should touch on this because it's been bugging me. And then a few days later, I saw him come out with a video, which he did kind of in his car as he's driving to the office or whatever. I don't know. But it did get me thinking. Because you're getting a lotto and you put zero effort into it, you put your name, your address, and your name, email, and phone number into a form, and you just happen to get picked. Is that entitled? Like, I don't know. Is that worth $500? I don't think so. Am I willing to pay an extra $500? Maybe. And I did have an opportunity to buy the RQ36 for about $400, $500 more, and I almost did. I was getting ready to, and it got sold out from under me. Just fine. I get it. I'm glad I didn't. I'm very, very happy with the Soft Overkill, which I think is a fantastic knife. Would I like an RQ36 at some point? Sure, maybe. I love RJ Martin, and I've become a fan of Shirogorov now. After Mr. Ed sent in some wonderful pieces, and I did videos on all those, and you guys can check out my Shirogorov playlist I'll put up in the corner later. But I think there's a distinction. If you go to a show, you wait in line. Like I did this. I went to California Custom Knife Show. I talked about it. I got the show special knife from Strider. It was a different booth. I don't remember exactly who was selling that one. But anyway, I was able to there. I got there early. I waited in line. I ran to the booth. I was able to get one for another buddy, Eric. Did I charge him extra? Slightly. Because he offered to pay my entry into the show. He wanted it so bad. He paid the entry into the show, paid me for the knife, and I had to ship it to him. So, yeah, he paid a little extra, but he offered to buy me lunch and do some stuff so he could entice me to go and get it. For the RQ36, all you guys did was put in your name, address, and phone number. Is that worth $500? Is that worth $1,000? I get supply, demand, all that. With the Desert Warriors, is it worth $200 because you happen to get one in at the drop? I don't know. If it is, I've got some and I might sell them. You want to pay me $300 for this? I might sell it to you. I'm a little over the donut stuff. Not completely over the donut stuff, but a little over it. I don't know. I could ramble. I'm not going to ramble. I'm going to wrap this up. Let me know your thoughts down below. Am I off base by thinking... I think it's not so much the money. It's the people that enter these lottos specifically to make money. That's what drives me nuts. Because I wanted an RQ36. And I know of at least 3 or 4 that sold within a day. If those 3 or 4 people hadn't have entered, maybe I could have gotten one. So I think I'm just a little bit... If you're going into it just to make a profit... No, that doesn't work for me. That, I think, is what... I think that's really the crux of what bothers me. You entered a lotto knowing it's going to be a hot item. You get it. You sell it before it even ships to your house. Just for profit. That's not the knife community that I'm involved in, that I want to foster and grow in my community, my little tiny sliver of the knife community. I'm not judging, but sort of. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below, because I would love to just have some interaction and get your guys' take on what you think of this. I think it's an important topic. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll put a link to my Sheargroff playlist up here in one of the corners. I'm kind of backwards looking at the screen. I don't do these very often this way. So, and let me know what you think of this style. I would love to hear that too. All right. Thanks, guys. I greatly appreciate your time as always. Have a fantastic day.